And welcome back to the channel. Bit of an odds and ends episode today. A few things to install on the car, but the highlight, of course, is the bars, which I'm sure you've seen from the title. Yes, I'm going to be putting on front and rear strut bars. Well, the front one's a strut bar because it goes between the strut towers. The rear one, rear body brace. Anyway, the cool one. The Racingline one I've wanted for ages. I finally bit the bullet in the Black Friday sales. Yeah. So going to install them today. Looking forward to that. I'm going to install them one at a time and take the car for a drive to see if I can notice any difference. People seem to swear by these things. Like I've seen some comments like the front bar is kind of akin to the difference that a rear sway bar makes. Well, we'll test that. We'll see. So I can't take it on a racetrack today, but I can go for a bit of a drive on some roads that I know, and we'll see. We'll see. Before we do that though, big shout out to Lithiumax. So they've sent me their latest Gen 4 Restart 9 battery. I've been using Lithiumax for years now. You remember one of my earliest videos was about installing a Lithiumax battery in your car when that really wasn't done. They were pretty much only in race cars, and that's how they were pretty much pitched. And I thought, well, why not put one in a road car? That was like 3 years ago. It was a while. So Lithiumax are fantastic. They've always looked after me. They keep developing their products, making them better. This is their latest generation. I think it's the Gen 4 Restart 9 battery. Amazing. Can't wait to get this in. If you are not using a lithium-ion battery in your car, specifically a Lithiumax battery, what are you waiting for? It is literally the best bang for buck weight reduction you can do for your car, right? One of these is about $700-ish. I can't remember the exact price, AUD, right? Saves 20 kilos. Titanium exhaust, $4,000. 10 kilos saves. You do the math. Go get one. I see a lot of these now in cars, especially when I go to the track. Almost every car I see has a Lithiumax battery, so they're doing something right. Big shout out to them. So we're going to be putting this one in the car as well. All right, so we're in the garage and we're going to install the front brace. So I've started some preparation for it already, so let's take a quick look at that. I've removed this strip. You got 3 of these clips. You got one here, and one on the other side. This just lifts up. Pretty simple. The bar is going to go through there. So let's take a look at the bar. So there we go. This is hilarious. It's like sparkly blue. I can see why Honda guys like this. So I was surprised that these guys actually made parts for this platform. But they do. They actually make a whole bunch of stuff. And luckily for me, there's a distributor here in Sydney. So they're really easy to get. Unlike most stuff, which has to be shipped in from Germany or the US. All right, and she's on. That's it. All chalked up, so you can still sort of see it through the cover there. I've still got to put this stuff back on, but all done. That was a pretty easy install. So now it's time to take it for a drive. Let's do it. All right, so here we are testing out the hard race front strut bar. Just driving on the street, so first impressions. I think you can kind of notice it's there. So I guess to put it in context, the front of my car is already extremely stiff. Bilstein B16s, H&R sway bar, Racingline, lower control arms, white line strut tops. Everything is spherical bush, so solid mounts. It's already very stiff, so it may be hard. I guess I'm not expecting much from this. I'm not expecting a big difference, but just first getting in the car and feeling the steering, I can kind of notice a difference, but it's small. It's small. It just feels a little bit tighter. So I can't really test this that hard, but you know, I'm on public roads, can't go crazy. I'm just gonna take it on this nice little dip I know up here that I drive often, and see if I notice anything. Stiff, but kind of already was. So I don't know. sure if I can really tell the difference with that bar there. Like, yeah, this is not the most ideal test, just going for a run around the block, basically. You can kind of feel like something's different, but it's slight. So do I recommend it? The front bar? I mean, for the amount that I paid for it, it wasn't very expensive. I think it was $200 or something like that. For the price, I'd say, yeah, sure, why not? It's definitely not going to do any harm. But if it does anything at all, you know, it's going to be obviously more when you're driving on the limit. All right, well, let's go put the rear brace on and see what that does. All right, now here's something I've been looking forward to for a while. It is the Racingline rear body brace. Now, I reckon this must be one of the best looking bits of kit available for this car. So I got this from USP Motorsports. They always put cool stuff in here. Some tags, but oh man, carbon fiber never gets old, ever. And this thing weighs like literally like nothing. Some instructions, which I will take a look at later. Wow. I mean, this is really top quality. They've really done a good job, I think, of making this. And what I like best about it is you don't need to drill at all. This affixes to the back of the car, where there's already a provision for it. So they've used something that's already there. Really nice. So let's go and get this on the car and then we'll take it for a drive. All right, and the K-brace is installed. So it's actually a lot more fiddly than I thought it would be. Mainly because I made a few mistakes. I kept putting these on the wrong way, which meant I had to keep undoing these a couple of times. These are fiddly. And I'll show you what I mean. So if you see how it attaches there, there's three bolts that go through. And look at that one in the corner. How are you supposed to do that up? Really difficult. And they're all Allen key. And I don't have a good Allen key set. So I had to use small ones. But that's it, looking good. Just in case you weren't sure, it says, not suitable for race harness. So there you go, done. All that's left now is to take it for a drive. So same as before, we'll just go on a little bit of road that I know and see if we can tell if anything's different. So far it just feels the same. No difference. Which at least when I put the front one on, I did feel a little bit of a difference just in the steering, which would make sense. Oh, that drone is horrible. That 3,000 RPM drone, when you leave it in auto, is crap. Just realised this camera is not working too. I don't think I ended up putting an SD card in it. Bit more traffic now compared to before. So honestly, I don't really know what to expect. I'm predicting I'm not going to feel a thing on the road unless I was driving very spiritedly, and unfortunately there's nowhere around where I live where you can kind of drive what I would call spiritedly, safely. Just doesn't exist. I'd have to drive up into the mountains or something like that. Yeah, so I think I'd really have to be getting on it to really feel the back end behave any differently. The shocks wound up pretty stiff on the back too, probably stiffer than I really should have them on the street. I mean, it feels tight, but as I was saying before, car's always pretty tight. I think to really feel a difference in the back end, yeah, I think you need some better roads. Oh, this car in front of me is driving so slow. I'm trying to get some space. Okay, let's go down this hill now. I'm not going to go that fast, but I think he was purposely driving slow. I can describe it. It felt a bit tighter. The rear just kind of seemed to follow the rest of the car a little bit better than what it normally would. I mean, what this is really telling me is I need to go and find some proper roads to drive this on. Because, you know, in the suburbs here, obviously there's just, yeah, you can't really do much. But I think that'll do it. So the K brace is in, the front strut brace is in, and I think that's really the best you can do for chassis stiffness without going a cage. I know there's some underbody braces as well. Honestly, I'm not super convinced of those. If you're going to go and put all of those on, well, maybe you should just get a cage. But then again, not everyone can get a cage. For example, I can't because I've got to have kids in the back most of the time, so I can't really have a cage, and I don't really want to be taking it out, putting it back in all of the time. So this might have to do. So is it worth it? Well, I can't really answer that question yet, to be honest, because I don't think the tests that I've done do really either of the parts justice. I've definitely felt the front be a little bit tighter. Like, you can feel that it's different. You can. The rear, yeah, maybe I felt a little bit, it feels a little bit different on the real, you know, basic kind of run that I just took it on. And that racing, I mean, the front one's cheap. The Racingline one's really expensive. There are cheaper options, like way cheaper, but you got to drill for those ones. If you don't mind drilling, go for it. I don't really want to drill into this car for the moment anyway. I mean, obviously getting a cage, that's a lot of drilling. So another reason why I don't want a cage. I don't really want to drill holes in the car. Zigzaggy things here. I don't know. I mean, car just feels good. Feels solid. Yeah, I mean, car feels solid. It goes where I want it to go. Is it better than before? Tough to say. Tough to say. So maybe this wasn't a very good review in the scheme of things. Maybe it won't help you at all. I think with these things, if you want them, you'll get them anyway. I don't think you really need me telling you it does or doesn't do something. Although, I mean, I do think it will do something on the track. It has to. Stiffening the body up has to do something, for sure. So that's it. We'll leave it there. Wrap up the video. I'm back home now. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helped. Sorry if it didn't. I'll try and do better next time. I'll try and find some better roads so I can give this a bit more of a thorough test like it deserves. So, as always, have fun in your cars and keep it on the black stuff. Cheers.